Assalamu alaikum. How are you people? So today is lecture number 5 of your subject business environment, and tomorrow we will be having another lecture. So in tomorrow's lecture, we will be discussing the task number 1. So today we will continue our learning outcome number 2, and we will see in detail what's our today's topic is. So, learning outcome number 2 is understand the structure of organizations. The assessment criteria that we are going to cover today is 2.2, which states that evaluate the influences of globalization on organizational structure. So, what is organizational structure? What are the different types of OS? We have studied all this in previous 2 to 3 lectures. So, today we will discuss the effect of globalization on organizational structure. Okay, so objectives is students will be able to evaluate the influences of, before going into the detail of effect of globalization on organizational structure, we will see what is meant by globalization, because we are already familiar with the term organizational structure. So now let us see what is globalization and how it will affect the organizational structure. So globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and population brought about by cross-border trade in goods and services, technology, and flows of investment, people, and information. So globalization is quite vast terminology, and it covers all the areas, which includes business, that is cross-border business. The cross-border trade or cross-border business of goods, services, technology, flow of investment, people, and information. This is known as globalization. And why it is necessary to carry out the cross-border trade? Because economy of a country is not completely but partially dependent upon this cross-border trade. It is very necessary, very important, because whenever you are, if I talk about the people, the individuals, if you are not in contact with your neighbor, how come they will know about you, and how they become how they increase the interaction with you, and how they will help you in the time of need. Okay, in the hour of need. So that is why it is very important to bring your businesses on global level, on international level. Okay, so therefore countries start trading with each other. They start doing exchanging business with each other. Many brands of one country, they open their franchises in other countries, and vice versa. Okay, so globalization is basically the interdependence of world's economies over the cross-border trade. And the trade, cross-border trade includes the trade of goods, services, technology, flows of investment, people, and information. So in short term or in easy terminology, we can say that the process by which people and move across the border is known as globalization. That what is globalization? So in simple words, you can say that globalization is the process by which the people and the goods, they move across the border. So this is known as cross-border trade, and it is very important for stabilizing the economy of that country. Okay, so it is because it is very important to keep in touch with the neighbors. So similar is the case with the countries. Countries should know their neighbor countries very well, because in the time of need or in the hour of need, the countries or the friends that who comes forward to help you are usually the neighbors. So there is an you can say quite vigorous competition among the businesses to take themselves to the global level or international level. Okay, so therefore, the firms, they keep on competing each other in this race, that which business will go into the international market first. So for this thing, or for this aim, they strive very hard to make their products and services internationally acceptable. Okay, so they tend to increase the standard of their product, or they tend to customize their product to optimum level, so that it become very easy for them to go to the international level. And we have seen many brands of our country that are present in the international market, or you can say the firms that have opened their franchises in other countries. And similar is the case with international brands whose franchise are being opened in our country as well. So this is known as cross-border trade, and it is very important. And this is not only helpful for the country's economy, but also, of course, the for the business itself also. As communications and technology make it more efficient to blend cultures, companies will change along with the business landscape. Okay, so whenever any business or any firm will open its franchise in international market in another country, of course they will open the franchise according to the demand, or according to the culture of that specific country. Because of course, like if I talk about an Asian country and a foreign country, how is it possible that you start selling the clothing brand of your own culture, Asian culture, into international market, and you expect it to become more successful, or you expect it the sales to be very efficient. Okay, so it becomes very difficult to sell all the you can say cultural clothes or Asian clothes in any international market or any foreign country. So of course, when you will open the franchise in that country, you will keep in mind the culture of that country as well, the demand of the people of that country as well. So you will prepare the products accordingly. As this happens, organizational planning, leadership, and structure will change along with it. Okay, because you are now opening, or you are now introducing yourself in a different culture. So therefore, organizational structure will be different, the planning will be different, the framework of the institution will be different. And because you are introducing a new product with a different background, with different perspective, with different aims and objectives. Okay, the only thing that will be common is you are going to open the franchise of your own brand, your same brand. Okay, but of course you will prepare the products accordingly. The concept of globalization is the interaction of business with another business, and the integration of the business and the countries in trade mode is the part of globalization. Thus, globalization liberalize the economic activities and improve the ways that tend to the economic growth. So, of course, by the process of globalization, or by this phenomena, globalization, not only the two businesses come close together, but also both of the countries come close together. Okay, so therefore, globalization plays an important role in bringing together or bringing up the economic state of the countries. Okay, so if you have any question, please ask me up till now. If you have any question.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And Elisa, what about you? Okay. The main concern is that economic growth highly depends on the globalization concept. The reason behind is that business interacts with each other and share their product and services that are highly usable, and thus directly linked with the globalization. In short, the economic globalization provides the countries in the world many development opportunities that can serve as a good example of organizations that are currently joining the process of conquering the global market. Okay, so the same thing has been explained over here, that I have told you people, that globalization not only makes the country's economy stable enough, but also makes them come together in every perspective. Okay, so sometimes the countries, they start their journey in on another track, and they end up their journey on a number of tracks. So whenever the businesses come close together between the two countries, uh, there are more chances that maybe some other projects will get over that way. So the international market as well, because when your business starts searching about the trends in the international market, the you can say the trend not in terms of fashion but also in terms of but financial point of view. So this is very helpful in knowing about how the international markets, how the foreign countries are doing, and what strategy we can copy from there and paste in our country in order to make it more stable. So conquering the international market is therefore very helping thing for the country that is not financially stable enough. Taking a small business global is a complex and dynamic process. Gaining a deep understanding of the targeted markets, the competition, current local market trends, and the requirements to successfully launch and drive growth lays an important foundation. Okay, so as we know that starting up a business in the native country is quite difficult, then how come it is very easy to bring your business to international level? Of course, it is a complex and very dynamic process, and a number of steps are involved. A number of protocols are involved that should be met before approaching the international market. So let us have a look on all these steps, or you can say all these phases. The first one is perform a deep dive due diligence. Okay, so now what is due diligence? Due diligence is basically a complete examination to the core of the depth. So before going to the international market, the business or the firm should carry out a complete examination of the international market of that specific country. Okay, so before going global, it is critical to understand what the full impact on your business will be. Prepare a market segmentation analysis to determine if your product will sell in the local market. So, if you are having a successful business, or I can say that if you are successful enough in your country, and you think so that your product will be sold in the international market as well, so, with this view in the mind, you have to follow a few steps. Sorry, you have to look after a few steps that whether your product will be sold in the market or not. Prepare a product gap analysis against local products. So, the first thing is you will compare your product with a local product of the same specification, of the same nature. Okay. For example, if you are selling body lotions or body creams, or you can say if you're selling preparing mobile phones, okay, and your mobile phone is quite famous in your country because you are providing the people with efficient mobile phone, or you can say with super specifications. So what you need to do, you will compare your phone with a phone from the local company, and you will analyze how you are successful enough to make a efficient phone. Okay, you will compare your product with the same product from a local market. Perform a SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis against competition. So you will also check that which competitors are present in the international market, and what challenges will you face when you introduce your business in the international market. So you will see the strengths of your product, your business, the weaknesses of your product or business, opportunities for your business in the international market, and the threats. Okay, so you will carry out a SWOT analysis against the competition. Competition means the competitors that will that can challenge you in the international market. Then is your product will likely to be higher priced than local product. Okay, so there are chances that your product that you will introduce in the international market will be higher in price as compared to the local product of that market. So after performing SWOT, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis, what will you do? You will analyze that when you will introduce your business in the international market. So what will be your the price of your product? Okay, so there are more chances that your product will be higher priced than the local products of that market. The main concern will be the market buy your product or not. Okay, so why your product why there are chances that your product will be higher priced? Because you will be newcomer in that market. You will not be financially that much stable as your competitors will be. So for that, or for stabilizing your business, you will start selling your product in a little higher price than the local product of that country. So now how will you compensate this thing? You will prepare a more better product than the local product of that country. Okay, so that the market will, or the customers will start buying your product. Consider market opportunities sizing, like how big is the market and how long will it take you to capture your targeted sales. So this is very important. You should analyze that in which market, what is the nature of the market. Either it is a free market, it is international market, or it is a competitive market. Okay, so which kind of market is present in that country, or in which market, specifically in which market are you going to introduce your business. So with, for example, in like every country, there are towns and cities present side by side. So whether you are introducing your business in the market present in town, or the market present in city. Okay, so these things matter to a lot when you are a newcomer. So you should look, or you can check whether that in which market you will introduce your business. So all these steps come under the heading of deep dive due diligence, means carry out a complete examination. Now the second step is develop a strategy and business plan. So after analyzing the international market, after analyzing your product, okay, after analyzing that how you will, whether your product will be sold in the market or not, then the second step is to develop a strategy, to develop a business plan. Because now you think that you are producing a quite efficient product, and there are chances that your product will be successfully sold in the market. Now you will devise a plan, action plan. Each market has its own nuances due to economic, cultural, governmental, and market conditions. It is important to develop a localized strategy and business plan that drives local success while remaining integrated with the overall corporate strategy and objective. Okay, so every market has its own regulations related to the economic conditions, the cultural conditions, governmental conditions, and market conditions. Okay, so these are the main things that will affect the rules and regulations of every market. So it is very important to develop a strategy, to develop action plan before getting entered into that market. Okay, so define short, medium, and long-term strategy. Set reasonable goals to measure the progress and benefits. Define the goals, objectives, and success metrics. Complete the business model and structure. Decide if you set up a separate company, a branch, or a sales office. Develop a top-down annual budget. Develop a tactical project plan with commit dates. Okay, so first you will decide that whether you are going to devise an action plan that is a short term, medium term, or long term. So of course, because you will be newcomer, so it is better to devise a short-term business plan. Okay, you will set the goals related to the benefits of your business. You will define the goals, objectives, and the success metrics. So the goals will be, of course, the financial growth of the business, because your business is already financially stable. So now stability is not our aim. Our aim is the financial growth and awareness of our business in international market. Complete the business model and structure. What will be the organizational structure of your business? What will be the framework of your business? So how the setup will look like, or how will you start the setup, whether it will be a proper company, whether it will be a franchise, or whether it will be just a sales office. Sales office means only a sales office is present, products are not present over there. So whenever someone puts an order, places an order, you will basically uh, parcel the product from your country to your sales office present in the international market. So when we say that we will establish a company in that country, so it means that our product will be created over there and will be sold over there as well. And when we say we will open a branch or franchise, then it means that we will deliver a complete lot of our product, complete volume of our product at once, and then the our employees present in that country will keep on selling the product one by one. Okay, so all these things are part of our action plan or business plan. Develop a top down annual budget. So if the plan is not short term plan, if it is a medium or long term strategy, then of course we will decide over the annual budget of our business. Develop a tactical project plan with commit dates. So if we are very assured of our official protocols and our we are done with the budget, so now we are in a state of devising a tactical project plan with the dates, committed dates. Okay, we have in mind that on which date we are going to introduce our sales office, then we will introduce our branch, and finally our company. Okay, next point is establish a beachhead team. So beachhead team is basically a startup team, but if we talk about its worldly meanings, so its worldly meanings are totally different from uh, the meaning that in which we are taking it, this term. Okay, so beachhead team means the startup team, the team that is the pioneer. Okay, so that will introduce your business in basically, of course, you are introducing your business in the market, international market, but the pioneer team that will carry on the sales of your business in that country, in that international market, is known as the beachhead team. Many global companies try to launch with executives from the parent company or rapidly build a local team from scratch. Okay, so some businesses actually take out their competent employees from the parent company, the basic company that is present in the native country, while some other businesses, they start hiring the employees for the international market. This is time consuming, risky, and slows time to market. Using proven senior interim executives allows the company to hit the ground running, quickly validate assumptions, and drive the key readiness initiatives while the company hires the right senior management team. So second option is usually a flop one. So therefore, most of the businesses, they uh, choose their efficient, their competent senior employees, senior executives, and they sends them to the international branch of their business. Okay, so what is the positive thing when the businesses choose the already present executives from the business? Because they are experienced, they know how to develop a company, develop a business, they know how to hit the market on the right targets. So of course, while they will be growing the company, while they will be making the international franchise more stable. Meanwhile, the company present in the native country will start hiring the employees for their native branch. Bring on senior interim executives with deep domain expertise or outsource interim leadership to executive leadership organization. So it is very time consuming and difficult to look for the people who are quite efficient, who are experienced, who are having experience for uh, international markets. So therefore, the businesses select the senior executive, senior employees from their native branch. Establish the financial infrastructure. Consider outsourcing this to local service providers. Okay, so financial infrastructure is very important to be created before entering into the market, and outsourcing of the product should be finalized prior to entry in the market. Begin the recruiting process for the permanent leadership team. So this is a continuous process, and it will be, you can say, it will keep the company will keep on hiring the people, hiring the employees throughout the year. Okay, because the cream of their business, the cream of their firm have moved from the native country to the international market. So therefore, they are looking for the brilliant people for their native company as well. Of course, they will not move all the efficient people to the international market because they need to keep their already stable company in the good state as well. Product readiness. Based on the product gap analysis, take the necessary steps to market ready your offerings to achieve the high impact product differentiation. So after you have decided about the beachhead team, and after you have decided that who is going to the international market, who will be staying in the native country or in the native branch, the next thing that comes during the phenomena is the product readiness. Now, when the team has been finalized, the budget has been finalized, the market has been analyzed, the next step is the readiness of the product. Okay, you will carry out the product gap analysis. You will take the steps necessary for the product readiness and make your product ready to use before entering in the international market. Review the government and industry specific regulations to ensure that compliance and certifications are obtained if needed. So, because this is a legal process and some kind of formalities are involved in the process. So, after you are done with your product, after you are done with everything, the analysis, the product gap analysis, the market readiness, and everything, then you will review the government specific regulations, the industry specific regulations. Is your product able enough to meet all these regulations? Have you created the product according to the criteria as mentioned by the government and the industry? Industry means international market in which you are going to introduce your product. So whether your product is basically meeting the criteria, both of the criteria, is it according to the standard of that country? Is it according to the government specific? Okay, so usually when you are going to sell your product in another market, you will mention the name of your product in the native language of that country as well. And if required, if your product requires some sort of directions of use, then these directions of use thing will be also present in the local language of that country. So you have to check that if localization of the product is needed or not. Next is initiate a patent trademark review. Some countries are known for copying good ideas. So making your product patent is very, very, very important. Whether you are doing your business in your own country or whether you are taking your business in the international market, patent making your product the patent is very important. It means that you own that product. you have introduced that product in the market. Okay, so for example, a number of phones are present in the market, in any market. Every phone has different specification from the other phone. A single company introduces similar sets of features in their mobiles, all models of mobiles, while the other company introduce another set of features in all of the mobiles. So that is why they own their own phones. So a similar product can be present, can be produced by a number of businesses, but when a product is being produced uh, locally or internationally by a business, then that business must make that product the patent ones. Okay, must emboss some sort of trademark on the product. For example, if we talk about the Samsung phones or the Apple phones, both of the phones are patent for the Samsung company and the Apple company. Okay, now the Apple company owns the mobile of only its own company. No, and this is the Samsung company cannot own the phone of Apple company. So therefore, it is very important to make your product patent ones, because some people, some businesses, they start copying your product with your name, with the change of a little bit change in the spellings, or you can say they will mention just at the bottom of the product or on the label of the product that made by or owned by this company, and that was not actually the actual company, the patent company. So that was a copy product. Initiate testing and quality assurance review based on the local standards. So when you are done with your product readiness, you are done with making it the patent, you are done with localization and all these things. The other thing that is very important is a quality assurance and quality control review. Your product should pass through these two tests. Consider a local logistics and distribution network. Who will sell your product and how will it get to them? So distribution network is very important. A number of distributors are involved in selling your product or in providing your product from your warehouse, from your production department to the shops or to the local businesses of that country. So it is very important that you have who are the distributors that will distribute your product from your warehouse to the shops. Organizational readiness. So we are done with the product readiness. Now comes the organizational readiness, the organization of your business, how it will meet the readiness standard. Cultural differences, whether it is language, regulations, or customs, require a firm to be flexible in the policies and procedures implemented in an international operation to ensure the employees are engaged in executing on the company's plan. Okay, so of course, cultural differences occur between the two countries or two or more countries, whether we talk about language, rules and regulations, customs and traditions, or any other thing. Of course, differences, cultural differences occur between the two countries. But whenever another country has introduced its franchise of any of its business in your country, of course, you will grant some sort of flexibility to that franchise, to that business. There are chances of some mistakes, or there are chances of some uh, flexibility in the differences. The one size fits all mindset can have a short term benefits but will have negative long term effects. Okay, so cultural, take keeping in mind the cultural differences, this rule totally don't work in the international market. One size fits all. When you are going to introduce your business in the international market, then your business should have diverse range of products, or if it is not having diverse range of products, at least it has a little number of variations, or a little number of, you can say, diversification in the products. Evaluate the organization structure needed to successfully execute your strategy. So of course, after building up of your organization, your business, organizational structure of that business is very, very, very important. Whether it needs to be centralized over there, decentralized, hierarchical, flat, lethargy, matrix. uh, divisional, functional, departmentalizational. Okay, so you will decide that which organizational structure will be appropriate in the international market for your business. Develop the policies, procedures, and handbooks that comply with the local requirements while maintaining the balance with overall company policies. Okay, so of course you will develop the policies and procedures and all kind of handbooks that will be of course delivered along with your product on the basis of the local requirements of that country. Develop competitive benefits programs to attract qualified local employees. Develop competitive compensation packages based on local standards and customs. Okay, so of course, sometimes you will provide the compensation packages on the basis of the need or demands of the uh, local market or the customer present in that special community. Okay, as you have seen in many products that sometimes uh, get one free get one product free along with the two main products that you have purchased. This policy work very well, very efficiently. So when you are quite financially stable and you are looking for the growth of your business, then sometimes you have to play cards for the growth of your business. And this is one of the most prominent, you can say, deal that usually the businesses introduce when they are going into the other markets. Develop a local information technology infrastructure that is compatible with your domestic infrastructure. Manage payroll and human resource functions, again, a process that lends itself to outsourcing. So, of course, you will decide everything when you talk about organizational readiness. The payrolls, the IT department, the HRM department, everything will be decided upon deciding the organizational readiness. Establish a go-to-market strategy. The effective selling and marketing of your products or services require a comprehensive, cohesive strategy that addresses the sales strategy, sales delivery, branding, value proposition, market strategy, market programs, pricing, which together create clear market differentiators that propel the market acceptance and revenue growth. Okay, now establish a go-to-market strategy. Now you have decided the organizational structure. You are done with the product readiness. You are done with each every kind of analysis. Now you are with the mindset of getting into the market. So you will again devise the strategy on this basis. Okay, now you will devise a strategy that is that includes the sales strategy, the sales delivery, the value branding or value proposition, the marketing strategy, market trends, market programs, the price of your product. Okay, so everything will be decided in this strategy because now you are going to enter the market. So you will decide the basis of the nature of the market in which you are going to introduce. Determine your optimum sales model, direct, indirect, distributor, or whether you are going to sell your product directly through the company, indirectly through the franchise or through the distributor, or hybrid that you are going to sell your product directly as well as through the distributor. Determine your sales methodology, solution, features, objective, price. What will be the methodology of the sale of your product? Okay, so this will be decided when you do decide upon the go-to market strategy. Okay, so the next is basically a sales methodology is a framework that basically describe how your sellers approach each phase of the sales process. Okay, how you will sell your products. If you are going to sell your product through the distributors, through the sellers, then how your sellers will reach that process. This uh, this is basically the sales methodology. Determine if a new brand will be created or whether you will use the parent brand. Yes, this is most important thing. Whether you are going to sell the product with the same name with which you were selling your product in the native country, or whether you are going to sell your product with a new name. So usually businesses opt out for the same name, but of course the product will be customized accordingly according to the need of the local customers, but the same name will be used, of course. Develop a comprehensive marketing plan. How will you market your product, or how will you do the marketing of your product internationally? This is as important side by side as the sale of your product in the international market is. Okay, so usually and nowadays the say marketing is done majorly through social media. But of course, you are entering in the new country, you are crossing the border, you are now present in different country with different culture, different language, a different environment, different people. You are not familiar with the other brands, the other businesses of the country. So it is very important to do the marketing of your business over there as well. Evaluate your pricing model. Okay, so some businesses usually collaborate with other businesses, the local businesses of that country, for their marketing. Evaluate your pricing model. Consumers in less developed country are very price conscious, and your product may not fit the local economic environment. So of course, for that reason, if you have introduced your product in underdeveloped or less developed countries, so of course you have to take your price a little bit lower. But I don't think so that businesses take this step. They usually introduce their business in developed countries, of course, because they are looking for the growth of their business. So it is not possible that they will um, introduce their business in the less developed countries. Legal readiness. Some countries are known for being highly litigious, so it is critical that strong legal processes are put in place to minimize the unnecessary commercial risks. Also, government agencies have strict requirements that necessitates the legal documentation be in place prior to operating within the country. Being proactive does require money upfront, but this more often than offsets downstream risks and liabilities. So, legal readiness is before introducing your business in that country. Of course, you have to take grant from the higher authorities from the government of that country, because every country has some kind of rules and regulations, whether it is related to import and export or whether it is related to international trade. Okay, so you have to take the proper grant or legal grant from that country. Some businesses actually opt out for money upfront, means they provide financial support to the government of the countries, but um, some government officials of the country. But of course, this offers more risks and more unliabilities. So it is important to go through a proper process, proper legal process to pass all the processes and then introduce your business. Create localized commercial agreements. Yes, after the proper legal grant from the government, you have to make the localized commercial agreements as well. Review industry specific regulations to ensure compliance and certifications are obtained if needed. Okay, so industry specific regulations, the government specific regulations, already our business has have been through all these regulations. Our business has cleared all these regulations and finally successful in meeting all the criteria as decided by the government. Perform general corporate services such as dispute resolution, immigration, customs, and shipping. And all these things are very important when you are crossing the border, when you are going across the border. So immigration, customs, shipping, everything will be decided prior entry into the market. Maintain corporate records and governance. Again, an outsourced function might work well. So corporate records and the governance, they should be maintained before, prior. Okay. So sometimes businesses usually go through all these steps, means immigration and the custom related thing and the shipping of their product, all these things after introduction into the international market. Okay, just government legal grant from the government of that country is compulsory or mandatory. Rest all the things can be carried out after introduction in the international market. Tax and finances readiness. So of course you are uh, carrying out your sale purchase in that country, so you have to pay the taxes as well, because you are introducing your market over there, you will be selling your product over there, and you will be gaining lots and lots of profit. So of course you have to pay the taxes. The proper tax and finance infrastructure need to be set up early on to ensure that you are receiving timely reporting and that your foreign entity is adhering to local corporate policies and procedures. So your tax and finances framework, they need to be set up prior to entry, of course, prior to introduction, and everything should be full-fledged ready enough before introduction in the international market. Cons- Consider the outsourcing accounting, payroll, and tax. Establish the local banking relationships. Develop a risk management plan. Develop a transfer pricing study. Develop a cash repatriation plan. Prepare and report sales and taxes. So you are going to pay the taxes. You are going to you are going to manage the financial readiness of your product, of your business. So for that, of course, you need to establish some kind of relationships with the local banks over there. You need to know how to transfer the cash from your local bank accounts to the bank accounts present in that country, because the sale purchase required this transfer of cash a lot. Okay, throughout the process. So whether you are going to pay the taxes, whether you are receiving the money from your customers, whether you are transferring the money, so everything is done through the bank. So it is very important to establish some sort of dealings with the local banks of that country. And of course, that plan, that relation should be a risk-free plan. Okay, so being the risk-free throughout the phenomena, you have some sort of risk management plan as well. Prepare your final budget. Results from the above steps, all of the steps that we have discussed up till now, should provide sufficient data for the stakeholders of the foreign company to develop a final budget that is aggressive yet attainable and one that will be owned by your local team. Okay, so of course, the foreign company or foreign business that you are going to you when you are entering into the other country, of course you need to collaborate with some businesses, not in terms of the business, but just for your introduction, or just to create awareness of your business in their country. So that foreign company, that foreign business will guide you in finalizing, or will the budget for your that is required for your setup in their country. Okay, so this budget is basically owned by your local team, the team of your native company, but it will be according to the budget that has been stated by, or you can say suggested by, the foreign company that is already present in that country. Develop a 3-year budget and a 12-month budget plan with the detailed key performance indicators and update every 6 months. Okay, so whether you will be creating a 1-year business plan or 12 monthly business plan or a 3-year budget or business plan. But whether you have decided a 1 year budget plan or 3 year budget plan, you have to update your budget plan after every 6 months. You have to review that plan, and you will see that whether the plan requires some sort of updation or not, review or not. Perform quarterly operating reviews, establish a real time or at least weekly budget to actual reporting with variance analysis. So, in the start of your business, in the start of your sale purchase days, you have to review your budget weekly. Okay, because the currency is new, the country is new, the culture is new. You have to review your budget weekly. You have to see whether your budget needs some sort of upgradation or not. Okay, so the last step is establish close relationships with the local business. As we have discussed in the previous step, it is very important to collaborate with the local business of that country, not only from the business point of view, but to create or make create your awareness in that country, or to get the suggestions related to the budget or finances, because of course they are the local ones. They know better about their country than any other analysis can tell you. Gain a strong competitive advantage by creating a sporting ecosystem of the complementary products and services, which can come via third party relationships. These relationships can support the scaling of the organization while minimizing the financial risk. Okay, so when you collaborate with the local business, when you make a relationship with the local business, you are basically not getting support in terms of your marketing or in terms of deciding the budget of your company, but also you are getting support in terms of some services and the products, complementary products as well. Okay, so also you are at the verge of minimum financial risk because you are also in a relation in contact with the local business of that country, that will be guiding you from time to time about the economic growth, about the tactics of economic growth, or making your business financially stable in their country. Negotiate alliance partner distributorship programs, develop an ecosystem strategy and business model, build an internal alliance team to manage and foster relationship. Okay, so for these kind of relationships, even your business, your firm will make a team. The team members will be responsible for creating the relationship with the local businesses of that country. Okay, so this was all about today's class. If you have any question, please tell me, Aliza and Tahseen.
No, ma'am.
Okay, and what about you, Aliza? Okay, so please, if any one of you can tell me, okay, beta, what is globalization? Just define what is globalization.
Yes, ma'am. Globalization, based in simple words, it's expanding your business from your origin country or city to international scale.
Yes, yes, exactly. Okay, well, beta, so this was all about today's class. So if you have any question while revising the lecture, you may ask to Ms. Kenza. Okay, she will forward me your query. Okay, beta, take care of yourself. See you in the next class, inshallah. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz, ma'am.